Yes, people. What's going on? CL Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Shout out to everyone coming over from Deluded's channel right now. Shout out to Deluded Gooner. I was just doing a video with him right now, actually, Dan, before we did yours.
BG, man.
I got a busy day on my hand. I'm going to be on your channel. I'm going to be on the Football Terrace. I'm going to be doing another video later today at 8 o'clock. Just getting a bunch of content in through the door today. Hope everyone's well. And yeah, season's over. We got to do a season review. So I'm like, you know what? Let me bring Dan Potts on. I actually tried to bring Lee on. Lee's busy, so we couldn't get Lee either. But hopefully everyone has a wonderful day. And yeah, bro, how you feeling after yesterday, Chelsea winning the Conference League? Surely you're like,
I don't care about the trophy itself, but Chelsea fans won me up, man. They've been trying to cook me all day. I've got Charlie and Don in a group chat saying Arsenal are rubbish. They didn't win anything, and we've had a better season. And I'm just like, I'm so glad the season's done, man. I've got to be honest, girl. I need another season. I can't deal with that season again, man.
You know what you can do? You can get FIFA and you can do season career mode, and you can be in charge.
What are you saying about it? What are you saying to these Chelsea fans? Are they cooking you?
I think guys like Lee and Yardman who want us to go drop down to try to win those trophies are crazy. Because I want to be in the Champions League. I don't want to be in the Conference League or Europa League. But if they ever bring back the Europa League where you can get knocked down, would you ever want to get knocked down just to win the Europa League and to have that European bullshit conversation out off our chest? Or so in my opinion, the best way to shut everybody up is just go win the Champions League. Like, forget about
that's the way. But if you said to me right now, you've got two options. You're either in the Champions League and you get to the quarters and get knocked out, or you go out the Champions League, you drop down to the Europa League and you win the Europa League. I want to win the Europa League. I'd rather win the Europa League than get to the quarterfinals of the other one, personally. But some people think the quarterfinals is better than winning the Europa League. But I just take the trophy. We're so starved of trophies, man, aren't we? Let's just be real.
Hey, I'll tell you this.
Thierry Henry said yesterday.
You know what? Let's start with Thierry Henry, because I was going to do a whole separate video on this, but Thierry Henry was talking a whole lot of stuff. And some of the stuff that he was saying, I agree with, but some of the stuff I disagree with. You know which part I disagree with?
The Sterling stuff.
Yeah, because I thought the Sterling stuff was wild. For him to sit there.
Quickly, the two things that have annoyed people is the Raheem Sterling. Why did he buy him over a striker? That's the first thing I've heard that people are annoyed about. The second thing I've heard that people are annoyed about is the fact that he's blaming injuries, saying, why are we getting so many hamstring injuries? I don't think there is anything he said wrong there. The Sterling one, he is obviously, people are saying, well, that's not Arteta. That's fine, but he still has made the comment that we shouldn't have bought Raheem Sterling when we shouldn't have. And then
but you know what? He makes a valid point about injuries, because when you have that many injuries, it is down to your tactics. It is down to how much would you call it, training methods, recovery methods. I don't think, to be fair, I don't think he's wrong about injuries. I do think when you have that many injuries in the same way, you have to look at what you're doing to prepare for games and kind of address that and tweak it so players don't get injured as much or players have more recovery time. But there is a little bit of it. It's just when you have less squad players, you're gonna have more pressure on them. So as a team, we need to also address that. It's not only on Arteta, but hey, he's gonna be critical of Arteta, and I do think the Sterling part, people saying he spoke sense about Sterling. No, he didn't. He was completely wrong. He put all the blame on Arteta for not signing a striker. You can't put all the blame on Arteta. The board clearly let him down in January. The board clearly let him down previous windows too. But hey, everyone's going to blame Arteta. I think Arteta is an easy target. I think Arteta gets overly criticized, in my opinion, Dan. But hey, what do you got to say?
Look, I know that you think Arteta gets overly criticised, and I genuinely do not think Thierry Henry was gunning for Mikel Arteta yesterday. I think people have decided to either be Team Henry or Team Arteta. The reason that I liked what Thierry Henry was saying was because he was calling out the club, saying we should have won something by now. The building's too tall for a process. Nobody else does it like this. You just go and win. And I did like the fact that he actually questioned the fact that why have we got so many hamstring injuries? Is it something to do with our training? Is it something to do with our fitness coaches? Is it something to do with the high intensity? Is it Mikel Arteta not trusting his squad? I don't know, but he's questioning that. Now, if he would have come out yesterday and they would have said, Thierry, what do you think of Arsenal? I think they're a disgrace. I think the manager's awful. I think what he's done is absolutely shambolic. I can't believe he's still there. They haven't even won a trophy. These players are all getting injured because of him, and he's not using his squad. I think he should leave. I kind of understand why people might think, whoa, that's a little bit harsh. Jesus. But he hasn't said anything like that. He's questioned that they should have won something by now. Why do they get that many hamstring injuries? Why have they not bought a striker? And I liked the fact that actually he made the comment on the reverse of that to say, when we score goals, we don't need a striker. So he's actually bigging him up. What do you think, Mikel Arteta? He's doing a good job. Now all of a sudden, this guy's toxic. What's happening here? Like, I can't believe some of the stuff I've seen on X and social media and all this is like, whoa, wow. I don't get it personally. I don't get the outrage.
Hey, I get the outrage. Some people just feel like Henry is always super critical, and he's not. He's not very
Is
complimentary.
that a bad thing, though?
But maybe people don't see the compliments. I'm not super critical on Henry. I just think there is some points to his arguments that are a little bit over the top. But hey, each to their own. He's entitled to his opinion, and I do think people can challenge his opinion. And I don't think anyone's treating him like Liverpool fans treated Trent, for example. Nobody's burning Henry shirts. Nobody's saying he's not a club legend. Nobody's saying discrediting everything he's done at the club. I just think some people are saying Gary Neville, Henry, heavily criticizing a manager who, let's be honest, is a better manager than them. That's all some people are pointing out, and that is viewed as disrespectful to Henry. I don't think that's disrespectful to Henry. I think that's people are entitled to point out their opinion. Same way people who don't rate Arteta are going to say Arteta's a club legend. He has every right to bash Arteta, and he's an Arsenal fan, so he knows better than Arteta.
But that is like saying, well, Egal and Dan Potts, what the hell have they got a YouTube channel for? They ain't played the game. They can shut up. They can go. They're not the manager of Arsenal. Laters. I think everyone should be allowed an opinion. Thierry Henry's opinion was not disgraceful. It wasn't shameful on the club. It wasn't disrespectful to Mikel Arteta. He didn't call the manager out. He stated that Arsenal had a disappointing season. Gary Neville, who tipped Arsenal to win the league at the start of the season, said they were very underwhelming. I don't think there's any way to get our knickers in a twist about that. I think they're talking factually, bro. But that's just me.
Fair. Before we get into the player ratings and everything else, people, please do hit that like button. I noticed Egal doesn't like those negative narratives about Arsenal. I don't like negative narratives around Arsenal, but I do acknowledge the truth behind some of the narratives. And I also like to point out when somebody's kind of going overboard, because I do feel like sometimes they sensationalize things to make it worse. For example, like what Lee Gunner does sometimes, talking about win the dog and the amount of shirts that the club sells and the PR. Some of these things don't have anything to do with what happens on the pitch. It has more to do with the club trying to make money, and the club's going to do that to try to make money. It doesn't necessarily mean.
In defence, though, as I say stuff like that, I never blame Mikel Arteta for win the dog. I blame the whole club for the PR system. I don't care that we've got a dog. Let's be real. I'd always joke about it tongue in cheek.
We had one during Herbert Chapman days. History.
There we go, right? So it doesn't really bother me so much. It's not that. What I will say is this, very quickly. The way the club is right now is unrecognisable to the one that I grew up loving. That is simply put. When we moved to the Emirates and the Cronkies come in, I've not enjoyed Arsenal like I used to growing up when I was at Highbury without them. And that's just simply put for me.
You want to know something? I was around 10 to 13 when we last won our league titles, and I did not watch football as much as I do now. So for a majority of my life, I know more about this Arsenal and Arsene Wenger's Arsenal than I do the Invincibles and everything else. So even though I was there, I lived it, I watched it, it's not this. I didn't have the same pulse on the game as much as I do now. So I do understand where you're coming from and where everyone else comes from. But from my perspective, I view it as Arsenal has never really arrived at the Emirates yet until we win a league title or a Champions League.
I agree. And it's not me saying you guys don't know what you're missing, because I'm old school. And I'm not, by the way. I'm 37, not 67. Yeah. But I was very lucky when I grew up, you know. Huh?
Yeah. I thought you were younger than me for a second.
I'll take that as a compliment, bro. But I grew up winning, man, and that's why I'm frustrated, because I go to the Emirates and I see this every week, and it's been trophyless. I'm getting bantered by bloody West Ham fans who can laugh about their European heritage being better than ours. Chelsea, Palace, and Newcastle winning trophies. Liverpool under Slot winning it. I'm getting pissed off, Egal. I can't lie.
Yeah. You know what? Let's take a break from the getting pissed off and let's talk about the season and try to do some player
Let's do it.
ratings. First, so the way we're gonna do it is, I don't know if you know Arsblog. Arsblog has a wonderful page, and they kind of have like player rating page, so that you can actually look at it. So this is David Raya. It's like a little cartoon of Raya,
Oh,
and then we
wow.
do our
Okay.
player rating. So we're gonna go through it one by one and kind of do the player ratings for the players this season, okay? And
Yeah, man.
they have Neto, they have everybody. So first, David Raya. I think David Raya has been fantastic this season, in my opinion. He's been one of the most consistent players for us. He's been solid, and I want to set a precedent with this. So players who I think have been really good, I want to give like 7. Players who I think have been fantastic and above, we give 8 or more. So anything that's 5 is like bang average, or one of your worst seasons is like below 4. Okay.
Yep.
6 is
Okay.
6 is just you're steady, but you're not amazing. You're not bad. You're just steady Eddie. So like maybe like a Thomas Partey is a steady Eddie, gets a 6 or a 7. You know what I mean?
I'd say he was probably more than that, but okay, we'll go through it. I'll get it now. I'll get your
What are you saying
criteria.
for Raya? 9, 10, 8. What are we saying?
So I would be quite happy to give him an 8 out of 10 because I do think he's been one of our better players. I wouldn't give him any higher than that. I certainly wouldn't give him any lower than a 7. I think the last few weeks he's been moving a bit mad, to be fair to him, but I think he's been fairly consistent. I mean, clean sheet again, Golden Glove. I think that's 2 years in a row now that he's won that. If I'm honest with you, particularly at the start of the season, bro, I thought he was exceptional. There's a couple of double penalty saves.
Arguably our player of the season.
Villa.
Interesting.
One of, I think. One of. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Are we doing this as the pair of us? Yeah,
Yeah,
we're trying
together.
to get together. I'm happy if you're happy with
I'm
an 8.
happy with an 8. I'm happy with an 8. I think
Yeah.
8 is a good representation of the season. I think he's been fantastic this season, and honestly, there's nothing I can say negative. To start off the year, I think he was getting man of the match every single game. Every single game, it seemed like he was getting man of the match to start the year. I would say he's easily in the top 5 performers of the season for us. What are you saying? 8 or 7?
I'll be happy to go with yourself with an 8. I'm happy with that for Raya.
8. Okay. Neto didn't even play. I'll give him a 5.
5, crikey! He played one game.
When
and
he played, did you think he was bad?
Horrendous. I'll give him a 4, man. He was awful.
All right. You know what? Based on that, we'll lower it to a 4. So 4 is like you barely showed us anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we're setting a precedent. Anything below a 4 means you're garbage. So like Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, I'm honest.
Right.
I probably would have gone lower with
They
Neto.
gave him a 3. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They gave him too high. I think Timber should get like 8.5 because
So
he has been unbelievable.
I'm putting him as a 9. He's my player of the season.
Your player of the season. Wow.
He's been outstanding. For Arsenal, yeah. He's been outstanding, bruv.
For him to come back from an ACL injury?
Yeah. For me, 9 out of 10. Absolutely the highest rating for me. He has been unbelievable, bro. I can't believe how good he's been.
He's one of the best 1v1 defenders we've had at the club in a long time.
Facts. I think since
Lauren, we haven't had a right back as good as him defensively.
For me, he's my player of the season, like by quite some distance. I think he's unbelievable, mate.
So you're giving him a 9?
Players, I've got to be honest. I'm giving him a 9. One of my favorites.
I'll meet you in the middle, 8.5. Cool.
Okay.
8.5. Ben White, poor season, 5.
Yeah, he's just been injury prone, hasn't he? Unfortunately, I'm a fan of Ben White though. I do like him.
It's not the best season. 5 is fair. Saliba,
mixed.
7.
I'll give him a 7, man, because he hasn't been the Saliba of old. However, I say of old, he's only been with us for you know what I'm saying. Last season, I thought he was better. He hasn't been bad. I do think that he's played way too much football, and I think that's shown. And I haven't been as impressed since he hasn't been next to Gabriel, although I actually have been impressed with Kiwior since he's come in. I think Saliba, for me, 7 is fair for him.
Big up everyone in the comment section. They're agreeing with us, saying 7. One guy said 4. That's mad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wolsey's a Newcastle fan, though, so.
Look, people giving him 8. So next, Gabriel. Gabriel is my actual player this season. I think he's been the best player this year. I think if we're going to give Timber an 8.5, I'm willing to give Gabriel a 9. I think nobody gets a 10 this year because nobody had like a Mo Salah type season. But I think he gets a 9 for me. He's been our best player for me, most reliable player. When he played, he was unbelievable defensively, also scoring winners after winners. There was a point where we weren't even scoring goals, and he was the guy scoring goals. Tottenham away, Aston Villa, so many times he was stepping up big time. And I just got to give him credit, man. Unique set piece player too. But as soon as he went down defensively, our set pieces went down the drain also.
Yeah, look, he for me alongside Timber has got to score high. I think he's been unbelievable, and I think the offensive and defensive set piece thing, he's one of the best in the world at it. And you can really notice him when he's gone. Now, I don't understand people that are saying we're not the same without him, because Kiwior's actually done quite a good job. However, I get what they're saying. We do miss him. I think I'd be happy to go along with a 9 and along with Timber. I think he has been absolutely outstanding when called upon, and he's been better than Saliba this year, man.
There you go. Next, we're gonna go to Kiwior. Kiwior, honestly, one of the unsung heroes or most improved players in the team. I think he gets this might sound harsh, but I think he's been above average. He gets a 6.
I'm going to give him a 6.5 for the fact that he's come in and I did not expect it to go as well as it has. I think he's been a good squad player this season. And do you know what? As much as I think he will go because he wants first team football, I wouldn't mind.
For how much?
We just get our money back, right? 25 million, something like that.
Dan, why are you like this?
Well, how much do you want for him? 60?
Dan, if we get an offer for 40 million, Arsenal fans would turn it down.
No, of course we wouldn't turn it down. But who's going to offer us 40 million for Kiwior?
We've already been offered 35. We turned it down apparently.
What? Who buy it? Who from?
We've had offers for Kiwior. It's just the club want 40. The club want around 60 to 60 million, if I'm not mistaken. But Arsenal,
we ain't getting that.
If I put out a question yesterday on Twitter, I don't know if you've seen it, and I put out the question: if Arsenal get an offer for 40 million for Kiwior, would you take it? Yes or no? Over 300 people tweeted, retweeted, liked it, and the majority of them are saying no.
They're deluded then, bro, because we ain't going to get any more than he is not a 50 million, 60 million pound defender.
Excuse me? Look at this. Keep 45. Keep. Name a better 40 million pound defender. I'll wait. Keep. Should be 70. Sell. 40 million, but Mbeumo gets 20 goals and he's worth 35. Make it make sense. No, Mbeumo's worth like 50. What are they talking about? Somebody here saying keep for depth if Gabriel gets injured. Everyone's saying keep. The best backup in the world, in my opinion.
Oh my God, this X is a nightmare. We got to get off this app, me and you, man. This is awful. How can people believe that Kiwior is 60 million back? So he's worth. Oh my God, what are we doing here? He is not worth 60 million pound, bro. Mark Gahey.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, we got Mark Gahey from Palace, who's about that. Jared Branthwaite, who's about that. They're both younger and both more experienced, both getting caps for England now, which, yes, I know he's got caps for Poland before people start coming back at me, but this is England, okay? So when I'm looking at the scenario of how much money Kiwior is worth, personally, if someone's going to offer me 30 or 35, I'll be like, whoa, decent, I'll take that. I'm not going to go, hang on a minute, double it. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Jesus, man.
Listen, Dan, I think he's minimum worth 40 million right now.
Okay, well, let's see if they're rejecting 35 million. I better hope we sell him for 45 or 40 then, because that's crazy.
I don't think we're going to sell him. I think we might keep him. 6.5, fair?
Yeah, that's fair. He's been good, man. He has.
And
he gets called out a lot, by the way. He gets called out a lot.
We got offered our money back for Calafiori from AC Milan. Would you take it?
Why did we not take it? We should.
No, we got offered 30. We got offered 5 million less, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd take it. I ain't impressed by him at all.
I think he looked good on the final day of the season when he was at centre back.
I'll give him a 5 because he scored 2 goals.
He started off the season well.
He's been injured for the rest, man.
You know what? I think you're being too kind. I'd give him a 4.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Underwhelming.
I'm only
Underrated.
giving. I'll only put Go in there because he scored 2 goals that everyone said were like the best 2 goals they've ever seen in their life. I'm just not a fan, bro. I can't lie. Big up to Rance, by the way. He's just rated hero. Big up, bro.
Oh, big up Rance. I didn't even realize. Shout out Rance for the raid. Big time. You know
Big
what?
up everything.
Everyone's in the building. There you go. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Big up Rance, man. I met him
4,
one
yeah.
time, man. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah, he's
I
a
thought
great guy.
outside of
Would
outside of the Arsenal banter, definitely a cool guy, man. But when it comes, but everyone banters Arsenal now. What are you gonna do, right? This is Man
Yeah,
United, and yeah. But hey, what can we do? As for Ricardo Calafiori, man, 4 out of 10. I
yeah,
think that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. That's
I
fair.
think that's fair. What are we gonna do with Mazu Skelly? Definitely above a 7, in my opinion. 7 or above. What are you saying?
Yeah, I'll go 7.5. He's one of the promising shining lights, bruv. For club and country, he's going to be quality in that position. And I do actually believe he'll stay in that position. A lot of people think his future lies in midfield. And look, maybe it does. But I'm looking right now, and people, I'm not going to say this. When I say this name, please don't lose your heads. He's not going to be as good as this player. But in terms of the age of him now and the age of the player, when he first come on the scene, I looked at Ashley Cole in the same way I'm looking at Lewis Skelly. Now, whether he'll go on to have the career of Ashley Cole, I hope he does. Even if he's half as good, I'll be happy. But he is better on the ball than what Ashley Cole was at 18 at Arsenal. That's what I see. I've seen both players. And I think, to be fair, Ashley Cole was a lot older when he got into the England setup, to the Arsenal setup. I think he was about 20 years old, 19, 20. Obviously, Miles Lewis Skelly's a bit younger than that. So 17, 18, I'm like, wow. I don't think he will go on to be the next Ashley Cole, but certainly if he's anywhere near as good, I'll be happy. This guy is
Smash the
quality.
likes, people. I'm just gonna say, bro, the main difference between Miles Skelly and the rest of the left backs is that he is so comfortable in that position, going forward and defending. He was unbelievable. I'm gonna give him a 7.5. I think he deserves it. And to the people
Yeah.
in the chat, if you guys are just joining us, we're doing the player ratings for the season. Please do like the video, and anyone joining over from Rance's channel, thank you. And also all the people who are just saying, I didn't know Egal had a channel. Well, yeah. Welcome to my channel, Egal Talks Football. I appreciate it if you subscribe also if you haven't already done so. So yeah, let's get it going. 7.5 is fair, right?
Yeah, very fair. I think that's bang on.
The Arsenal fans gave him 8.5.
Yeah, see, because he's been that good.
Zinchenko, the graphic for Zinchenko is wild. He has been bang average, 5 or below.
I'll give him below. I'll give him a 4, man. The guy's hardly kicked a ball. When he has, he's been in midfield. It's been all right. He scored a half decent goal against PSV, but other than
What
that,
did
I
we
ain't
give
seen nothing.
Neto? We gave Neto a 4. So what are we giving him?
Yeah, I'd give him the same. Him and Neto with the same name played, have they? It's just been poor. You could probably give Neto less, to be honest, 3. But yeah, Zinchenko, I'll give him a 4. He's
You
going,
know
man.
what?
He's
Based
done.
on that, I'm gonna move Neto to 1. And then we're gonna give Zinchenko a 3, because then we
Okay.
gotta leave room for Kiwior, for Tomiyasu and them guys. Tomiyasu's getting 0, by the way. Kieran Tierney, when he played well. I'm gonna give him a 5.
Do you know what? I'm biased because I love him. I'm going to give him a 6 just because every time I look at him, I just think
5.5.
you're a professional, proper professional. Scored on his last game when he said he was going to. Had 5 years at the club, never moaned, never put a
He
foot
said he
wrong.
was gonna score.
Yeah, he said he was going to score and he did. I love that. I think that's class.
Amazing.
So, yeah, apparently Arteta said it in his press conference. He said, Kieran Tierney come up to me and said, I'm going to score in my last game. And we all laughed. And he actually did. It's crazy. Why have they got different names here, by the way?
I don't
Why is
know.
he called Borginio?
I don't know. What are you saying? 1, 2, 3. What are we doing?
Oh, that's hilarious. Jorginho's hardly kicked a ball, to be fair, mate. When he
I'm gonna
has
give him a 1.
1. Wow.
He
You think he's
barely
been
played.
worse than Zinchenko?
Okay, 3.
I just give him a 4, man, because when he has come in, he's done all right, but he's nothing special. He's done now. He's out of here.
Fairs. Partey, 8 or 7? What are we saying?
I'm
We
giving
gave Saliba a 7. I'm giving him same as Saliba.
I'm going to give him more than Saliba because I think he's been more consistent. I think the guy's proved that he can stay fit. I'm a big fan of him. I want to keep him, and I hope that he does stay. I've been very impressed with Partey this year. So I actually think it's been one of his best seasons in an Arsenal shirt. I've got to be honest, and he's actually been fit the most. So yeah, I'll give him a 7.5.
Fairs. So we'll meet in the middle, 7.5. Next, Declan Rice, one of our players this season. I'm starting at an 8 with Declan Rice. No debate.
Yeah, I've been massively impressed with him in the last part of the season. First part of the season, though, dodgy. I don't think it was working for him. He wasn't fit. He struggled to get fit from England. He had a broken toe he was playing with. I'd probably lean towards a 7.5, same as Partey, if I'm honest. But if you want to go for an 8, I'm not going to deny it of him because I love him. I love Declan Rice. One of my favourite players.
Yeah, big up everyone in the comment section. Please do make sure you like the video if you haven't already done so. Thank you for everyone who's putting in their votes. A lot of people are saying 8 and 7.5 for Declan Rice. So they're agreeing with us. You're saying 8 also, right?
I'm happy to go with 8.
Next, Martin Ødegaard. This is the one that's controversial. You're saying sell him.
No, I said if there's a bid that come in,
70 million.
Yeah, if there's a bid that come in that I thought was fair, I would be happy to replace him and upgrade him. But
70 million comes in for Martin Ødegaard tomorrow. You selling him?
Yeah, I'd sell him for that. Yeah, I'd sell him for that. I'll go and buy someone like Alex. I go and get Eze, Alex Baena. I go and get a proper attacking midfielder, not one that wants to go sideways and backwards all the time.
Do you think
I give him a real talk
would approve a sale?
No, he's staying, bro. He's staying as captain. He's staying as leader. He's staying as creative spark. He's staying as attacking midfielder. Do you know what I will say? If he does stay, when he does stay, he's got to have a good season with a new striker and a new left winger.
Somebody said they'd take 40 million. You guys are disrespecting Ødegaard.
Wow. I'd give him I'd real talk give him like a 3.5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. He's been that bad.
4.
He's been that bad, bro. He's not had an average season. He's had a below average season. 5 is average. He's been below average. So
I'm not giving him the same as Neto. I'll give him a 5.
5. You think he's been average? He's been below average.
If we're giving Neto and these guys like 4s and 3s, 5.
He's been as bad as them, man. He's been as bad as every time I've seen this guy. He's been absolutely awful, bro. I'm happy to stay with 5, but I think it's kind.
Okay, 4.5.
Okay.
Meet in the middle. They give him 6.4.
God. Well, they love him, don't they?
Mikel Moreno. I'm going to start at a 6.
Let's be fair, man. Let's be fair. As a midfielder, I'd have given him a 4. Since he's come into that role, I think we have to give him like a 6.5 because he, for me, was actually giving me half hope of scoring some goals without no strikers. I can't forget that. Not that I love the guy and I wouldn't care if he stayed or go, but for me, I think we've got to have respect where it's due, man. So, yeah, it's got to be at least a 6 for me.
Yeah, I think he's the unsung hero of the season.
Yeah, I think he's easily been our best signing this summer. Not that it's hard, but he could actually walk away saying, do you know what, for 30 million, I weren't a bad signing, when all the others are just a shambles.
So you agree with the 6?
Yeah.
They gave him a 7.5.
That's a bit extreme.
Bukayo Saka, arguably one of our best players, unfortunately got injured. I would start at Saka at a 7 because of the injuries and everything that happened. It drops him down from the Declan Rice's and the Gabriel ratings. But I think 7.5 is a good start, good category. He was unbelievable to start the season. He got injured, came back, played well for the first couple games. And then ever since we got knocked out in the Champions League, he's 7.5, still one of our best players, still one of the star boys. Unfortunate, he only finishes the season with, 12 goals, 14 assists. He was on pace to get 2020.
Look, man, I've changed my mind on this player a lot in relation to how important he is to Arsenal. I thought Saliba was our most important player until this season. I think Saka is, man. I've got to be honest. Without him, we don't score goals. So without scoring goals, you ain't going to win games. So for me, I think it's a 7 due to injuries. I love this player. I love this kid so much. He's my favourite player. I just think he's outstanding, Egal. So that's what I'm happy to go with your vote.
Fairs. Let's go to the next one. Let's see what people in the comment section say about Bukayo Saka. Egal chat shit about Henry. This guy's crazy. We just covered this earlier. Dan, was I talking shit or was I just basically saying my only thing I disagreed with was the Raheem Sterling take?
Yeah, you disagreed on the Sterling take, and you thought it come across as disrespectful. That was it. That's all you said.
Yeah, because he was almost like blaming him for something he has no control over, in my opinion. It's not. He's saying, "Oh,
I think you've taken it personally because you think it's an attack on Mikel, and you love Mikel. That's my honest opinion.
no," but I agree with him on majority of the stuff that he says.
Yeah, no, you did say that as well. Yeah,
I agree with him on the majority of the stuff, like the trophies and stuff. We obviously need to get to finals. It's just, it is what it is. Jesus is a weird one. I'm giving Jesus a 6. When he played, he was outstanding.
I mean, he scored a hat trick and a couple of goals against Palace, but his injuries have absolutely killed him. I can't give
When
him a
he
6.
played, he was really good.
I would have given him a 4 personally.
Okay, we meet in the middle. 5.
Okay.
Meet in the middle. 5. They gave him a 5.2. So yeah, there we go. Meet in the middle. Kai Havertz, when he played, he was good. He got injured, kind of dropped off our season with him and the rest of the injuries with the attackers. Overall, I'll give him a 6.5.
I'm going to be harsh.
He had some poor performances like Newcastle and Manchester United. He had some really good performances throughout the season too. I can't really name them off the top of my head. I can't. The sad thing is, there's no memorable Kai Havertz moments this season. Can you remember any?
Which is why I'm giving him a 5 because it was average. I agree with the chat. I'm giving him a 5. The 2 misses against United and Newcastle, I can't forgive when you're on 290 a week and you paid 65 M's for you. That ain't good enough, man. For his standards, it was poor. So I think he's lucky to get even an average season at 5. He's supposed to be our marquee signing alongside Declan Rice to get us across the line.
But to be fair, across all competitions, he did get 15 goals. He's one of our top goal scorers.
Which is why I'm giving him a 5.
I think that's kind of harsh. 6. A meet in the middle, 6.5. 5.5.
Okay.
5.5. People in the chat don't agree. Some people saying 2s, some people saying 4s. Some people saying Egal defends Arteta shamelessly. Yeah, it's semantic. Anyways, please do like the video, guys. Please do like the video. Appreciate all the love and support. Trossard, what are we saying about Trossard?
He's been underwhelming in games. He's been good in games. He's been a good impact sub when he started.
He's been one of the most reliable players this season.
He does score, man. He does score. I don't think
availability also. He never missed a game due to injury.
I don't think I can give him more than a 6 if I'm honest, but he has been okay. He's not been wow factor. He's been okay. We haven't had many that have been wow factor again.
I will give him a 6.
Yeah, same as me.
Solid season. Would you sell him?
If a bid from Saudi come in at 40 million, yeah, I would. But if not, I'd just keep him. Let him go.
Are you upset that the club is giving him a new deal?
Not really. If they see him as a squad player, if they're going to not buy another player and they're going to keep him, then yeah, I would be. But I think they're going to get a player and try and keep him.
Fair. Martinelli,
nearly our top scorer, man. Him and Havertz. I think they got 8 goals.
I'll give him a 6 also.
That's how
not
bad
as good.
No, I'm with you. I can't give him higher than a 6. Bro.
I can't. There's no memorable moments for him this season either, except for Real Madrid. Sorry. Real Madrid.
Yeah, but let's be real. Everybody had a good couple of games against Real Madrid. But if we're going to just go on that, then everyone will get him 7s and 8s. Like, let's be real. Martinelli's been disappointing again this season. He's one that I look at and think he needs to be doing more. I wanted him to develop more than he has been. I can't give him higher than a 6 either, bro.
People saying 3s and 5s is mad.
That's harsh, man.
These guys are harsh. Yeah. 6?
Yeah.
All right. Wrapping it up. Sterling. Do we even rate him?
Just 1. Just never want to see him again.
You know you can give 0.5.
Yeah, that'll do. 0.5 for turning up.
Let's see what they give. Even the people gave 2s.
Wow.
Ethan, I'm gonna give Ethan a 6.
Yeah, he deserves at least that.
He played 32 games, bro.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan of him. I
don't know if this is true, but some people were saying Ethan playing 32 games is down to I don't know if with the position that he's playing, the fitness, you need to be at a serious level. And they're saying at a young age, it's difficult to play that many minutes with at that position in the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind that. For me, what we should be doing is allowing, Ethan Nwaneri to be moulding in, not throwing him in the deep end. However, I do think there's been an opportunity to play him more, particularly at the start of the season. I know Arteta's come out since and said that was the wrong thing to do, and he wished he would have played him more. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him and Max Dowman next season, bro.
Max Dowman's going to get game time. I hope it's not to the detriment of Ethan.
No, I think they'll both get games.
Ethan's going to be more of a right winger, in my opinion, going forward, less of a midfielder.
Yeah, they're both quite similar, I think, in the way they play. So hopefully it'll be interesting. Be very interesting.
Very interesting. So 6, we're going to give him.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on?
Is that the last one? Is that why?
Is it? That's it?
Yeah, that is it.
Okay.
Why won't
So, Tomiyasu, we're not rating him.
Like, not even a 1. Like, he's worse than Sterling for me.
There's no rating.
Sterling played more than 6 minutes. Crikey.
Yeah. And then I have the awards. So player of the season goes to
Jurriën Timber for me.
For me, it is Gabriel Magalhaes. Young player of the season, Mazu Skelly.
Yeah, I don't think that's even close, bruv. He's been unbelievable.
Yeah, Mazu Skelly deserves a young player of the season. It's not even close. Most improved, I would say Kiwior.
Most improved player at Arsenal. It's hard to say Timber because we didn't see what he was like before.
Some people saying Timber, Gabriel. Some people saying Partey due to injuries. Rice.
I think Partey's always been that good. I think you're right. It's probably Kiwior. You know, it probably is Kiwior.
No one.
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, Mars Lewis Skelly, to be honest, is probably the one it is.
Yeah, Partey was always like that. David Ray is a good shout.
Yeah, do you know what it is, Raya, actually? Because he started off bad at Arsenal because of all the pressure.
I think it's Kiwior. I think it's Kiwior. I think you had a Ramsdale agenda. You loved Ramsdale. You didn't want him to go. And then now you're okay with Raya.
I didn't mind him coming in. I just didn't really see that it was a priority. But he is better than Ramsdale, Raya, definitely.
Hey, Unsung Hero.
That's a good one.
I have one.
Unsung Hero.
You could say Timber or Mikel Merino.
I'll go with Mikel Merino because I feel like when everybody said he's going to play up top, including myself, I scoffed at it. And I don't think it's been appreciated enough because I actually think he did a better job than Kai Havertz.
Unsung Hero. Interesting. Rice.
I think it's got to be Merino, to be honest.
Arteta is most improved. No, he's not. No, he's not. Havertz.
What, as an unsung hero? What's he done?
What did he do? He scored the most goals. That's it, really. That's just a lot, to be fair. The next one is everyone's favorite. The disappointment of the season.
The fact we didn't buy a striker.
No. It has to be a player or a manager.
The most disappointing player, I would.
Or manager.
Well, yeah, Mikel Arteta. Yeah. If it's a player, though, it's ødegaard.
Ødegaard. Yeah, I agree. Definitely ødegaard. Now, the reason why Sterling is not a disappointment, guys, we knew he was not that good. If you thought Sterling was going to come into the team and bag 10+ league goals, I'm sorry. You were mistaken. You were sold magic beans. Like, that's what you were sold. If you thought that was going to happen. Honestly, I never thought Sterling was going to come in and be a superstar. I just kind of was desperate. Weren't we all? We were just desperate.
It was awful. I couldn't believe we signed this guy. Awful.
Yeah, you were consistent with that. You said it was an awful window. And Leroy Sané kind of sounds the same.
I don't want him.
Same. I don't want him.
I like him as a good player, but it's not going to take us to the next level.
And Sterling lied to us. You're gonna see the best of me. We didn't see you.
Yeah, we didn't even see him, let alone the best or worst of him. We just didn't see him. He was just dreadful, man. It was awful signing. I remember losing my head when we signed him, and everyone was saying, "You're over the top. Give him time. He's going to be quality." Oh, come on. We all knew it was going to be.
You know what? The next one is the good one. The performance of the season. Would you say Man City, Real Madrid? Man City was a good one too. Don't forget.
It was class, but it's got to be Real Madrid. No one give us a chance at
PSV 7.
Yeah, that was class, but it is Real Madrid. Nothing beats that, man. When you go, like, for me, The away was even more. Like the home leg was unreal. The away one, I never see us winning that. That's a performance of the season by far. To go to Real
So
Madrid,
is it the home leg or the second leg?
The second leg. To go there with no striker, to go there with a unfit Saka, an underperforming ødegaard, a bloody like Rice playing in a position that no one believed he could play in, an 18-year-old kid at left back. I'm like, wow, that was a brilliant performance, man. No one can sit there and shit on anyone there, whether it be players, manager, or club. That was outstanding. For me, it's by far the best. The 2 Declan Rice free kicks were brilliant.
You know what? Just before we get there, goal of the season, give me your top 4.
So the goal of the season is Declan Rice's second free kick. That was just world class. I don't think I've ever seen a free kick as good as that.
What about Calafiori's goal?
Calafiori's goal is up there, actually. I think that was a screamer. But I'll put the Declan Rice other free kick in there as well. And then for the 4th goal.
Oh, what about Miles Lewis-Skelly's goal?
Miles Lewis-Skelly against Man City. Yeah, I was just thinking of that as you said it. That for me was right up there for me. There was another one that Saka scored at home. Was it against Liverpool? That was class.
Yeah, where he sat Robertson on his ass.
That was outstanding. I thought Declan Rice goals against Man United and Newcastle were pretty good as well, where he's just smashed them. But yeah, the Saka one was absolutely superb.
I'm not gonna put any of the headers or the corner or set pieces goals in there, but one goal that I can remember off the top of my head right now that will be, I think, the most memorable this season is obviously going to be the Declan Rice free kicks. So that's going to be the goal of the season. But I do think there is a Thomas Partey goal in there from that Man City game. The goals of the season come from 2 games: the Man City game or the Real Madrid game.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Thomas Partey goal was deflection, so I can't even count that. So it really is just that. Oh, what about Ethan's opening? What about Ethan's goals? Because Ethan scored some screamers.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where they were against now.
He scored a screamer versus Man City. He scored another one versus somebody else. Was it Brentford or Palace?
No, I can't remember now. But he was.
But you know who was the biggest, like, Jesus, that those 2 games Jesus played?
Brighton. It was Brighton, wasn't it? One area.
Those 2 games Jesus played, those were really good performances also.
Yeah, against Palace. Yeah, he was good against Palace. But I don't think any of the goals were anywhere near Declan Rice free kick, Miles Lewis-Skelly's, and Saka's against Liverpool, and Calafiori's against Man City. They're the 4 for me. They're the 4.
I think we played PSV when Jesus was fit. There was one goal we scored where he chipped the keeper. That was nice.
Yeah, I remember now.
Anyways, I'm kind of pushing it for that one. Finally, what do we rate the season as a whole?
I'll let you go first.
I'll be 100% honest. The season's a 5.
I was going to give it a 4. I'm really surprised you give it a 5. Actually, I thought you were going to give it higher.
I'm going to be really fair. The season's a 5. We did not win anything. We got further in the Champions League. We got knocked out in the FA Cup. We got knocked out in the League Cup. We got knocked out of the Champions League. We lost the league by 10 points. And overall, based on the standards that we've had over the last couple of years, it's bang average. Some of the people in the chat saying 6, 4, 3, somebody saying 1, 2, mad. They think I'm saying 5, and I think that's harsh. But what are you guys saying?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it was a disaster, man. How you can finish that far behind the winners when they're not Man City, when we've been told for 2 years we can't win because it's Man City. When they don't win, we finish 10 points behind the team that do win that aren't Man City. That's poor. To go out of everything again is bad. I know we got to the semi-final twice, but you should be beating Newcastle and you should be beating PSG, in my honest opinion. And we lost to both. So I can't say that it's been a good season, bro. I think it's been poor. The FA Cup, losing against Man United, 10 men Man United, who were dusty and finished 15th or 16th. Nah, tap me out of this season. It's been a disaster. On top of that, the amount of teams and managers that have won trophies ahead of Arteta again is just making Mikel look like a bang average manager, man. It really is.
Okay, squad overhaul, or what are you saying? You agree with Lee and these guys when they say it's a rebuild? Because I don't
Yeah,
think
I
they're
mean, look,
doing.
people talk about rebuild. I don't really care for that word, really. It doesn't really bother me. If we have to rebuild the squad, we have to rebuild the squad. No,
Retool.
that means it's failed. I know that you don't like it. You prefer to call it a retool, but we need 7 players, Egal. So make of that what you will. If you believe that's a rebuild, then it's a rebuild. If you believe it's a retool, it's a retool. Whatever you believe 7 players into the club is called, it's called that. Because that's what we need, man. A backup keeper, a couple of defenders, a couple of midfielders, a winger and a striker. That's what we need, man. So if we're going to bring in that, I'll be happy. If we're going to bring in 3 of them, we're short again. That's what we got to have this summer. It's got to be so good. Like this summer has to be spot on, bruv. It has to be a summer that we get to a window, it closes, and we go, wow, we're ready. Wow. And, you know, we've heard today that the Gyökeres stuff, like, it looks like he's Chelsea interested, and we're still going for Sesko and all this after having days of us looking at Gyökeres. I don't know what to believe anymore, bro.
Bro, stop it. Dan, no, I'm not trying to even be disrespectful. You get angry too easily about stuff that we have no idea about.
Yeah, but I'm not angry. I'm just saying, what is there to believe?
Let me tell you what there is to believe. The top Chelsea source on Twitter, Alex Goldberg, has said Arsenal are going for Victor Gyökeres. He is their number one target, absolutely their number one target, and they are a lot further along in signing Gyökeres than people are to believe. So we
So we're
also
not going
heard
to
from,
get Sesko. We're going to get
then we
Gyökeres.
also heard from Arsblog, who works for the Athletic and is one of the closest people to Arsenal, who said Arsenal thinks Sesko will be the best striker in the world in 2 years' time, but they're going for Gyökeres now because they believe he's a better player now. So that's 2 sources already saying that. So if we hear Arsenal bid for Sesko, I won't believe it. If we hear Arsenal did this, I won't believe it. From Portugal, Dan, I could show you right now 6 or 7 major articles from Portugal saying Gyökeres to Arsenal is happening.
Okay. Do you know
Let me
what?
show you.
Let
Let me
me
show
calm
you.
them. We're going to sign Gyökeres. We better.
Let me show you. This was on the 13th of May. You have people coming out with articles saying Gyökeres to Arsenal.
This better happen then.
You know something? I could even show you. What do you call it? There was ones from England, the English newspaper. Where is it? Here's the one where I was talking about, where they're talking about Sesko. You read this last line.
He believes he will sign Gyökeres. They do not doubt Sesko's ceiling, but they're in a hurry. That has to mean we get Gyökeres then.
Yeah, so you don't got to worry, mate. All the stuff,
But this is
about
last week out, and I do worry because I've heard this all before when we were going to be signing this, that, and the third, and we ended up not getting them. We were supposed to be signing Caicedo. We were supposed to be signing Mudryk. Thank God we didn't. We were supposed to be signing players in the past like Benzema, and I'm still waiting for Yaman Bia to sign his contract
Let
with
me
us.
show you this. Let me show you this.
Higuain.
Escape to victory.
When's this? When was that reported?
Gunners sign a striker.
It has to be him, man. It has to be.
The Daily Express. Gunners close to victory.
It has to be him, man.
This was on the 14th of May. This is not AI. This is not fake. If you want, I can show you the actual article where I got it from BBC. These are real. And everyone is saying we're going to sign Victor Gyökeres. Every sign is saying we're close to signing Victor Gyökeres. Apparently, Arsenal have already made an offer for Victor Gyökeres of 70 million euros. I believe we will get Victor Gyökeres, bro. And I think a lot of people need to just chill out.
I hope we get him, bro.
My question now is, who's going to be the left winger?
Well, it doesn't look like Rodrigo is available from what I'm looking at recently, unless he does up demands.
He's available. It's just, are you willing to pay?
Well, I think that we're willing to pay it, but I don't know that Jabi Alonso 100% wants to sell him yet. I think we could end up with like
You
Lookman
think they
or
sell Vinny?
Williams. Who?
You think they sell Vinny?
Nah, I don't think they sell any of them, if I'm honest. I don't think they sell any of them. I think they'll stay all 3 of them. But I think that we could end up with Williams or Lookman or Gittins, someone like that. I don't want those names, really.
You're trying to stress me out.
Well, who do you think we're getting then?
We got to get somebody of high caliber. Either we go and get
Rodrigo, who do you want?
Rodrigo, we go and get Nico Williams, or we go and get Leao. And if we can't get any of them, bun all these other Gittins and bullshit. Get me Eze and get me another 10.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right?
Would you take Lookman? Do you like Adam on a Lookman?
I'll take Lookman. I don't mind Lookman, but Lookman's at the bottom of my list. I don't think we're gonna sign Mbeumo and ask him to play on the other wing. I don't think that's gonna happen.
And Mbeumo is gonna go Newcastle, I think.
You know, perfect world. We take the money we're gonna spend on Rodrigo, and we buy two 40 million pound players in Eze and another player. What?
That's what I'd get. Eze and Alex Baena from Villarreal.
Yeah, you go and get two players for that 80 million.
And they can both play left or centre, which I think would be good. That's a good shout, actually, Egal. That's a good shout. Right? But that's only if we don't get Rodrigo.
But then people are going to say, what about Max Dowman? I don't care.
Nah, we need a squad, man.
I don't care about a 15-year-old kid right now and his development when it comes to winning the league. I care more about that. And I don't think if we sign two players who come into this team and improve our squad depth, then you can let one of Trossard or Martinelli go.
Maybe that's why I big up to Jay in the chat, Jay Dime. Maybe that's why he's saying that we keep Trossard and Martinelli and we get, let's say, Eze and Baena. And then you've got proper squad depth.
No, but then at that point, people are going to say, what about Max Dowman? What about Ethan?
Yeah, but who cares? Max Dowman's 15, Egal. Like, when people say, what about Max Dowman? The guy's literally not even
I just said that.
Like, well, we can't let people do that. Like, just don't listen to those idiots. You can't say, oh, the 15.
Yeah, you're obsessed with a teenage boy worrying. I never said anything. I literally got somebody in the comment section asking, what are your thoughts on Max Dowman's involvement next season? And I responded to it. Next thing you know, somebody saying I'm obsessed with a 15-year-old. What the hell's going on? You guys need to chill out. Anyways, we're not. What about this Turkey guy? Everyone's saying go get Turkey. Man City looks like they're going to get him.
Yeah, it looks like City are going to get him and Reinders. I think they're brilliant signings, by the way. I like this Turkey kid, man.
I don't know. Reinders
is quality, bruv. Reinders is going to be quality. That's going to be a brilliant signing. Florian Wirtz is going to be a brilliant signing if he goes to Liverpool.
Somebody's going to flop.
Let's hope it ain't Gyökeres. If we get him.
There you go. We got 5 more minutes before we got your video. Do you got anything else you got to talk about? Because I feel like we kind of touched on everything that we needed to speak about.
I mean, you were going to talk about this goalkeeper situation at some point, right?
Yeah, Joan Garcia. So I don't know if you watch No New Things.
No, go on.
There's an account on Twitter. He's an absolute madman. He's the guy who speaks about players' legs being like spaghetti and talking about players not being athletic and stuff. So he basically spoke about Joan Garcia, and he's like, Edu's done this before with Bruno Guimaraes. He did this with we did this as a club with Jude Bellingham. We did it now. We're going to do it now with Joan Garcia. We've done it already with Diamond when we had an opportunity to sign him for less than 10 million euros. So missing out on Joan Garcia is going to be like an institutional failure, because we're missing out on a generational keeper, and he could be headed to Manchester City.
I mean, look, I think I don't know enough about him, but apparently
Let me tell you about him. He's tall. He's winning multiple man of the matches on a week-to-week basis. 38 games played this season in Spain for Espanyol, and he kept them up.
Is he better than David Raya?
At this moment in time, he is 24 years old. David Raya is what? 29?
28, 29. Yeah.
David Raya is 29. He will, in 2 years' time, will not only be considered better than David Raya, he'll be considered one of the best in the world.
We've got to go and get him then, haven't we? We've got to get him. Now, look, if he wants to be number 2 at Arsenal...
Also, if he was available for us and playing for us versus PSG, he doesn't concede that Ousmane Dembele goal. He's so tall, he can reach from one post to the other, basically, almost.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this guy, but if there's a lot of people talking about him in comparisons to Courtois and
He's
Alisson,
he's 1.9 meters. I don't know
yeah,
how you guys do feet. Do you guys do feet or meters?
I do feet, but yeah. So that's what, like 6'6" or something.
Let me check. 1.9. He's 6 foot something crazy. Like
6'5", 6'6" goalkeeper, something like that.
I don't know. I need to find out what his height is in feet. You know, these conversions are never right. Joan Garcia height in feet. Yeah, he's 6'3". So what's Raya? Raya's 6 foot exactly. This guy's
Yeah,
6'3".
he's not a tall goalkeeper, Raya.
6'3" with a large wingspan. Also, like he has like very long, lanky arms.
You think if he comes in, we're gonna have another Ramsdale Raya situation?
If he comes in, he's taking over from Raya within half a year.
I'd do it then. If he's that good, I'd do it.
And he's only going to cost 21 million.
But he's going to choose Man City or one of the other teams over Arsenal because he's guaranteed first team football.
That's the problem. Also, Bertha's kind of calling the shots now, saying it's not what we don't need him.
Okay. To be fair, we don't. We need a striker, man. We need a winger. We need a attacking midfielder.
We're potentially missing out on a Courtois type situation. Remember when Chelsea had put the check and they got Courtois? I think what we should do is we should sign him, and if he wants to play first team football somewhere else, you loan him out.
We could sign him and loan him out. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. We could keep him at Espanyol.
Potentially a generational keeper, man.
If he's going to be generational.
You know how they call Kaliba the Mbappe of centre backs? He's the Mbappe of goalkeepers.
Well, I need to get him then.
Ray is 29, guys. Ray is not young. Ray could play 4 more years. I get it, but height is a difference. Is an issue sometimes.
I agree.
Hey, anyways, he's not going to Barcelona. He plays for Espanyol. He's made it clear he's not going to Barcelona. But we're going to wrap it up here, guys. I've already redirected to Dan's channel, so make sure you guys do the Dan raid. Who's going to be on the panel?
It's a good panel, man. We've got me, you, Hooks, George, Jamie Phillips, Cal, and Wolfie. So there's a few of us, man. So it'll be good.
All right, yeah, everyone go there. Say what do you call it? Liverpool are not going to repeat. Anyways, we're out of here. Catch you in the next one. Love, bro. Have a good one. Thanks for coming on, Dan.
Nah, love, bro.